It's a thrashing Thursday, time for biology, living environment class, and every day kicks off with the excitement of this bell ringer. All right. Hey now.
Mr. Kovacs class. It's Mr. Kovacs class.
You might learn a ton.
It's Mr. Kovacs class.
He's interested too.
It's Mr. Kovacs class.
And he's super cool.
It's Mr. Kovacs class.
Hey friends, we've been studying the 11 organ systems, and on the Regents exam, there's always this question about, do you know the levels of organization from simplest to more complex? So cells being the simplest level of life, right? All organisms are made of cells. It's one of the characteristics of life. Cells are organized into tissues. If you put tissues are similar cells that live together and work together. You put tissues together, different tissues, but they have to live together and work together to have one function. That's called an organ. Then a number of organs working together. They don't have to be in the same place, but we call that an organ system. And there are 11 organ systems, 11 body systems you need to know. Circulatory, respiratory, integumentary, skeletal, muscular, nervous, lymphatic, excretory, endocrine, digestive, and reproductive system. People have been asking me, Mr. Kovac, how can we remember all those 11? And I say, don't ask me, ask Dr. Mrs. Celine. Who's Dr. Mrs. Celine, you might ask? Well, Dr. Mrs. Celine, she remembers. She'll help you remember. D, digestive. R, reproductive. M, muscular. R, respiratory. S, skeletal. C, circulatory. E, endocrine. L, lymphatic. I, integumentary. N, nervous system. And E, excretory system. That's 11 letters in Dr. Mrs. Celine. Each one represents one of the systems, right? Know it, love it, live it, learn it. All right, and I got your worms labs yesterday. They were due yesterday. Just to remind you, the test has been postponed till Monday. Right, today's Thursday, so that gives you an extra weekend to study. So I expect even bigger things from you. The test. Hey, let's look at some practice questions from the test. This one, there's a hormone question. It says, a biological process is represented below, and it's got endocrine cells. You recognize that word, endocrine. These hormones, and then target cells and non-target cells. And it says, the reason the hormones affect the target cells and not the other cells is that the A, target cell has specific receptors for the hormone. B, non-target cells produce antibodies that block the hormone. C, hormone provides energy only for the target cell. Or D, hormones can only leave the bloodstream near the target cell. Good, it has to do with specific receptors, right? Target cells have receptors, non-target cells don't, right? And they bind to each other. I like this picture because it shows the hormones traveling through the bloodstream. Hormones are released by glands and travel through the circulatory system. Oh my gosh, this one, I told you this, you'd be asked this on a Regents question. The diagram below represents the organization of structures within that organism. And it goes cells, blank, organs, or X, organs. What term best describes the structures represented by the circle labeled X? Is it A, organelles, B, tissues, C, chromosomes, or D, organ systems? Good. You got it. You got it. You'll do fine on this test. Lots of good questions about organ body systems on the test, and about scientific method and variables. And yeah, study up.